Liverpool scored a goal that rewrote the history of world football. Wojciech Kvaratskhelia officially joins Paris Saint-Germain. Arsenal's new superstar and Mohamed Salah's new club. We're discussing this and more today. Friends, this is Football Dose and the top 10 hottest news to this hour. Make yourself comfortable, because now is the time to wish you a pleasant appetite and a pleasant viewing. Christopher Nkunku is halfway to Bavaria. The only question is whether they will include Matthias Telle in the deal. Florian Plettenberg said that Nkunku verbally agreed with the Munich conditions. Chelsea tried to negotiate with Telle, but the attacking Bavaria is ready to go only for rent, as he dreams of playing in Munich. And Chelsea doesn't need his rent at all. The Blues have given up another player in, and without the overcrowded dressing room, they would give practice to their youth. It turns out if the Nkunku transfer happens, then Bavaria will have to pay about 70 million euros, which is required by the pension. I think 10 million will be saved thanks to the trades, but no more. Christopher's move to Chelsea is not merely to showcase his skills in the League Cup and Conference League. Before the transfer to Chelsea, the Frenchman scored 20 goals and 30 assists in the Bundesliga, and the Wolf marked a hat-trick in the gates of Manchester City. He successfully played in any attacking position, could give decisive passes, and dribble past defenders. And he was not a fool to finish himself either. Literally, all the top clubs in Europe wanted him. Chelsea took him as a key player of the project. But due to injuries, he could not become his own at Stamford Bridge. And now he does not make it to the main team, even in excellent football and side tournaments, including because the emerging Nicholas Jackson fits more into the style of Enzo Maresca. The competition in other positions is also solid, even taking into account the disqualification of Modric. In general, Nkunku simply has to go to Bavaria if he wants to restart his career. Moreover, in Germany, everything worked out for him. To his fortune, Munich residents are completely crazy about the deal and will try to push it through despite the wild demands of Chelsea. Carlo Ancelotti risks being left without a job, as the coach can't cope with all the challenges that the management throws at him. The failure is due to Carl's father, as it was flawed from the start. Barca had an advantage with one man in attack, even when they removed Szczęsny from the field. And all because the Italian completely relieved the attack stars from working in the back. At the same time, I don't understand why the Oilers never buy new central and flange defenders. Vasquez, Mendy, and Tchouaméni are struggling. Meanwhile, Carlo Ancelotti keeps trusting them. Although Fran Garcia on the left in defense doesn't look worse than the current Mendy. Young Raul Asensio has proven he's prepared to play for the main team. The Releva publication writes that many in the leadership of the club are unhappy with the coach and his preference for experienced footballers, and are promoting the dismissal of Carlo's father. If results worsen further, they will replace the coach with Santiago Solari and appoint Xabi Alonso in the summer. Ancelotti has decided his response to the Clásico. According to the data, the coach and his staff are planning to abandon this scheme with 4 forwards. For the sake of balance on the field, they will leave only 3 such footballers, and Rodrigo will firmly sit on the bench. You understand the result yourself. Such talent cannot be wasted aimlessly. I'm amazed that Brahim Diaz is still doing this. Rodrigo's status is not cooler. Man City has been following him for a long time. I would be happy with such a signing. Rodrigo's better than Grealish in his current condition. And yes, I remind you that Rodrigo is a left winger, and despite the uncomfortable position on the right, in reality, he still shows outstanding play, especially considering how much he works in defense. Arsenal puts on a brilliant show year after year. The Gunners contend for the title every season. What's more, sometimes they are considered favorites during the draw, but they still miss the trophy. Honestly, Arsenal's recent performances clearly demonstrate they are not ready for the title again. They don't squeeze out a victory even when they are playing well and managing to create moments. But real champions take points even when they have off days. Remember Manchester City, or look at some of Real Madrid's matches. Even this season, they're clawing their way through pain and blood. What has Arsenal been doing in recent matches? What is Kai Havertz doing? And if the German isn't flying, there's always in-form Gabby Jesus. But no, he just came back after a serious injury, finally started scoring, and then got injured again. According to the latest data, he tore his cruciate ligament and will be out for half a year. And it would be better to get a forward right away. Well, no, there are no new news about Isaac's transfer, but Arteta continues to strengthen the defense. He writes that Arsenal will sign Martin Zubimendi from Real Sociedad after this season. The Gunners are activating the 60 million buyout option. Negotiations are in the final stage. According to the publication, the deal will only fall through if something extraordinary happens. Zubimendi turned down Liverpool due to his loyalty to Sociedad. After a disappointing first half of the season, he regrettably reconsidered giving up his place in the Conference League, which lost its appeal. In Arsenal, Zubimendi is awaited by the legendary, in the Basque country Arteta, and well known from Sociedad Merino. Zubimendi will perfectly complement Merino and Risa. It's hard to call either of them directors, even though they may carry some part of these responsibilities. The aging Jorginho will leave, and Martin, who is slightly late, will take her place. Inconsistency. Perhaps one of the main problems of Juventus this season. Due to the team's low performance, they have set a record for the number of draws. Turin rarely loses, but the fight for 3 points often turns into an insurmountable task. As a result, the club's management has chosen to focus on signing a forward in the winter transfer window. According to the latest data from French media, the task has been accomplished. Randal Colomani is moving to Turin on loan from Paris Saint-Germain. The buyout obligation discussed in early negotiations was not included in the final deal. Paris Saint-Germain's management decided that they could earn more if Colomani proves himself in Juventus's lineup and attracts the attention of other clubs. To our regular viewers, first, respect. Second, you know Randall well. He's fast, physically strong, and a high attacker, perfectly suited for counter-attacking play. That's how he was in Eintracht, but the Frenchman's true form remains uncertain. A year and a half on the Paris Saint-Germain bench could not go unnoticed. However, Tuchel has already proven his ability to revive the careers of declining stars, as with Joshua Kimmich. Kulusevski and Xerxes have a similar profile, which instills a certain optimism in the fans of Turin. As for strengthening the defense, which the club management also prioritized, the situation has become more complicated. Negotiations about Ronaldo Araujo's transfer have stalled. After Niga Martinez's injury and Araujo's bright performance in the Clásico, Barcelona refused to sell the player in the winter window. Moreover, even if Juventus was ready to meet the financial demands of the Catalans, which is 70 million euros, the deal would have been unlikely. Nevertheless, the Turin team managed to agree on the transfer of a defender from the Portuguese Championship, Alberto Baio. He cost the club 12 million euros. Little can be said about him. He hasn't even earned any reputation on the European stage, so his transfer is a mystery. This transfer could either be a successful acquisition or a waste of money. Cristiano Ronaldo was thinking of leaving. From Saudi Arabia, the Portuguese's desire to win trophies is insatiable, and Al Nassr seems to only tease the impending and always stops a couple of steps away from the awards, whether in the championship or cups. Chris generates a large part of the popular content from Saudi football. Even going east, he continues to remain the main face of the game for a huge number of people, all thanks to his popularity on social networks. And imagine what Chris is like. They even tried to dissuade him from going to Saudi Arabia, saying it would be very easy to collect free cubes and just pad his stats. And in his collection is only a club cube of Arab champions. But that's not serious. And now, according to rumors, Ronaldo has set conditions for the championship bosses. Either they will bring top partners from Europe for Chris to collect trophies, or he will change the script. Just as Sporting became active, determined to bring back the legend. But not fate. As journalist Muvat Alavat writes, Ronaldo has agreed with Al Nassr about a new contract until 2026. The epic comeback is cancelled, and it seems Chris will indeed end his career at Al Nassr. He gets 20 million euros a year, plus all possible bonuses. Why go anywhere with such a salary? Moreover, there was a hint of who the Portuguese would be brought in to fight for the cup. Amar Mugrabil, head of the Saudi League, commented on Vinicius' potential transfer. It's not a dream, it's a matter of time and negotiations. When you can offer Real Madrid 300 million for a player and more than €1 billion to the footballer himself under the contract, it's really not about dreams anymore. Kyle Walker's already preparing to move. Where exactly he will go after ending his career in England is hard to say. Milan is considered the main contender for his signature. The transfer will likely be free for the Italians, as Manchester City does not keep players who want to leave the club. However, Walker is insisting on a salary of €4 million a year, including bonuses, which could become a serious obstacle for Milan. If his financial demands are not met in Europe, it's quite possible that the Englishman will continue his career in Saudi Arabia. We'll follow the situation as it develops. Meanwhile, the defenders are fortifying their defensive line. The club paid €35 million for Palmeiras' protege Vitor Reis. Rumor says Pep Guardiola personally insisted on the player's transfer, indicating his high level of skill. Reis is capable of playing both as a right back and in the center of defense. And although his preferred role is as a central defender, it's hard to predict exactly where Guardiola will use him. Given the Catalans' propensity for experiments, Vitor Reis could even end up in attack. Also close to completion is the transfer deal for Amara Marmash. According to information from Fabrizio Romano, the forward will cost Manchester City €70 million and will become a player of the club by the end of this week. Likely, this won't be the end of City's transfer activity. The management plans to sign at least 2 more players before the winter window closes. As a result, by the second half of the season, the team may present a completely updated lineup. Mohamed Salah has not yet extended his contract with Liverpool, and it is increasingly suggested that he will leave the club. The negotiations have made no significant progress whatsoever. Perhaps Salah is listening to his former coach, Jurgen Klopp, who wants the club to agree with the Egyptian. I hope he stays. He is the greatest forward in modern history of Liverpool. Fantastic man, the best ambassador Egypt could have. Fantastic sportsman, Klopp stated. Mo is in unbelievable form now. I don't understand why Liverpool's management is so tight with the contract. How could they let the situation get to the point where Salah is almost openly saying that he's being offered too little? With his current game, Salah has every chance to take the next golden ball. Currently, the sole competitor is Rafinha from Barcelona. For the sake of the Ballon d'Or, the Egyptian should stay in Europe, even if not in Liverpool. Paris Saint-Germain and Juventus are interested in him. But as Abdul Hadi, a member of the Sports Media Federation of Saudi Arabia, stated, Salah has already agreed to move to the Saudi Championship. Moreover, it is not yet clear which club he will play for, but they will choose between 4 teams of the Al Nasr Fund, Al Ittihad, Al Hilal, and Al Ahli. Roberto Firmino, well known to Salah, plays for Al Ahli. So I won't be surprised if Mo's choice goes to this team. Anyway, Al Ittihad benefits from having Firmino there. Moreover, Salah is definitely interested in what it's like to play with Benzema. I don't really believe in the Al Nassr option. Salah and Sadio Mane are far from friends. Yes, and the Egyptian wants to be the main star of the club. And while Benzema might still win the competition for status, Ronaldo probably won't. Although maybe Salah would agree to be the second face. In terms of influence on the field, he should surpass the Portuguese, even if the whole team continues to play for Cristiano. Vicha Kvaratskhelia moved to Paris Saint-Germain. Yesterday, a company plane arrived from Fabrizio Romano. So it's official. Napoli earned €70 million on the transfer, plus some bonuses. Vicha, in addition to a several-fold salary increase, will have the opportunity to boost his statistics. Now, in Paris Saint-Germain football, the extreme forwards occupy the central position. And the most effective players of Barca and Dembele, namely winger Luis Enrique, allow taking risks and making extraordinary decisions, while all other players should just be cogs in the system. It's not very clear why Parisians took a star footballer for a position where a talented and very promising Barca plays. The Frenchman has blossomed this season. The only claim is the performance in the Champions League. And yes, here Havicha can give him a run for his money. It's more stable compared to top competitors. Following Vicha's transfer, Antonio Conte expressed his disappointment, but not in Quaresma, but in himself. After all, he couldn't keep such a player. Napoli has earned a decent amount and can buy a quality replacement. Gianluca Di Marco said that the company turned to Manchester United about Alejandro Garnacho. Napoli offers the Red Devils €50 million plus bonuses. MU is requesting $70 million. The difference is too big. Napoli might pull out of the deal. There's a feeling that United is making the same mistake again, and doesn't let the young guy go when there's demand and a chance to earn. Obviously, Garnish has a lot of potential, but his discipline and attitude towards work. We recently received insider info that they're unhappy and willing to sell. Are they really willing to sell and demand £70 million for him? Yes, Huicha came out cheaper. Garnacha and Huicha, the Mancunians, need to give their all on the field. Understand that they are ready to make significant concessions, or there simply won't be a transfer. Juventus did it again. Yes, the Turin team has nothing again, this time with Atalanta with a score of 1-1 30 draws in Serie A in 20 matches. If this continues, then Ben Canary might remain undefeated, but at the same time, not make it to the Champions League. Juventus is now in 5th place. The match pleased with an abundance of moments and 2 classy goals. First, defender Kalulu runs uncovered across the entire field into the penalty area to score. I feel butterflies in my stomach. Calafiori did the same in the balloon. The response from Alant is no less beautiful. Radegi cleverly managed to score a header straight from under the soap. It was so intricate that even Robin and Anpers would have envied it. But it's too soon to curse Motu. Things are so bad with squad compilation in Juve that they had to go to the match with Atalanta with an incomplete application. The teams probably gave the best match of the Serie A season. Indeed, it's so good that it's not a sin to recommend watching it again, at least for the magnificent second half. Now, a few words about RS Dortmund. Yesterday, the Bees managed to sting the modest Holstein Kiel. What's more, at the end of the match, being outnumbered, Kiel not only didn't let in, but even scored. Holstein won 4-2. In Germany, rumors are already swirling about the dismissal of Nuri Sahin. Delay is a matter of time. Yesterday was just a crazy day in England. Graham Potter held a victory in his first Asian Premier League match for West Ham. And not over anyone, but over the powerful Fulham this season. How pleasant it has become to watch the Hammers penalty, the neat filling of the opponent's box, the pressing, the intensity. Everything we didn't see under Lapiteg. And this is only Putter's second match. Win with a score of 3-2. Well, you can watch a review of this trip on our Telegram channel. The link is in the description and in the pinned comment. Manchester City has lost points again at the last moment. The Citizens took the lead in the 80th minute of the match against Brentford thanks to Foden's double. And it seemed that nothing forebode trouble. And then a swarm of bees attacked, and voila, nothing. Guardiola is likely tearing his invisible hair out again. He also broke up with his wife, and he had been with her for over 30 years. I sincerely feel sorry for Pep because of all these troubles that have fallen on his bright little head lately. Liverpool couldn't win again. This time the Housers couldn't handle Nottingham Forest. Second time this season, but no complaints about the Reds game. What Forest's goalkeeper Matt Sells did defies logic. All Liverpool fans were having flashbacks of the Champions League final in 2002, when the unbelievable Courtois simply broke the game. Although I'm not even sure whose performance was better, Courtois or Sells. Liverpool managed to snatch a point thanks to the simply brilliant Arnis Lota. On the 66th minute, right before the corner, the coach sent fresh Zamikos and Jota onto the field. The Greek went to serve the Portuguese into the penalty area. On the head of not the tallest Jota. Goal. Have you ever seen anything like this? What is this at all? What kind of cheats? How does this work? And this became the fastest goal, plus assist, after a substitution that has ever happened. And I'm not talking about England, I'm talking about the whole world. The magic of the slot, no other way. Alas, I failed to pull out the victory. But with such a Celso and Nottingham in general, you can praise Skazarov for nothing. But you can't miss the Liverpool miracle goal. Be sure to appreciate it in our Telegram channel. Where to find the link, I already said. And for today, that's all. Thank you for watching and for subscribing to the channel. My name is Kirill Cast, and this was your daily dose of football. Peace to your home and your hang, friends.